Tricon is an innovative organization that's transitioning from real estate to tech-enabled real estate to a technology company.
We put our employees first and we put our residents first. So the entire company is innovating. Triad, this is a tool we just rebuilt this year. A visualization of what also makes Tricon a data company is what we call the TriTech tool. We now have a smart routing optimized tool.
And there's the resident app demo.
An app to pay rent, an app to control their smart home.
Maintenance issues, everything in one place for them to do.
Exactly.
Okay, and this is Triforce.
Yeah. And what it is it's our work order management system.
Tripod demo, which I would say in layman's terms is like your CRM, your customer relation management system. Like the house talks to them and tells them to come do this or that, and then they can kind of do it on their own.
That's what I feel is an enriched living experience with technology.
Well, Tricon is an innovative organization.
Fun. Everybody in the NFT NYC community, thanks for your attention. You know, I like to do lots of different interviews and fireside chats with established leaders in the industry and new friends. We know that you're there. We're glad that you are, but I'm going to share a conversation with Reshma. So Reshma, you're head of innovation here at Tricon Residential. And folks might wonder, like, what does that have to do with NFTs and Web3? But as I've gotten to know you and your innovation team, we started off with kind of familiar ideas around digital real estate and the interest toward the metaverse and Web3. And as we've had these big ideas and asked, well, maybe people don't want that, we've kind of narrowed down to things that would be interesting for Tricon to pursue. And one of the things that I've really been attracted to is you and your team's desire just to build relationships, right? Get to know me and ask questions, get to know other folks that are in this. So maybe you can give a bit of a background on you. Of course, we showed the little 1-minute videos that give some sense.
Sorry, my segue.
Yeah. I was on my one wheel. That was fun. That was a few weeks ago. Just I was really getting to know what you and your team are working on. And then I had another meeting with your team today, and I was able to do a couple of our fireside chats from here. So this is Tricon's office, everybody. It's all just real life plants and glass everywhere. I personally love it.
Yeah, we have a couple of indoor parks in here to kind of hang out.
Yes.
When it rains on occasion in
Right.
County.
Yeah, it's been raining the last couple of days. California needs the rain.
It does. Well, it's been awesome having you here, actually, getting to know us. It's, this is kind of new for Tricon, right? Venturing into the Web3 space, coming out of our 2D world, if you will, right? Buying homes, renting them and renovating them, and trying to think about how do we then, kind of duplicate this in the Web3 metaverse space. So a little bit of background on me. I've been in tech for like 25 years, right? Fortune 100 to startups. And what kind of attracted me to come here was just how entrepreneurial and technology forward Tricon is for a real estate company. Like, let's be honest, no one grows up in tech and says, let's go work in real estate, right? That's just not something that we go and want to venture towards. But what was cool here is that we're pushing the limits on tech every which way possible. So we're not just looking at what is everybody doing in the real estate world, we're looking at what's finance doing, what's healthcare doing, what's everybody else doing, and how are they pushing the envelope. And quite frankly, the vision is 10 years from now. We want to be known as the leader in this space that thought forward and saw that the metaverse and when the Web3 space was going to be something that, we could potentially help support. And to do that, while we kind of figure out how we're going to play a role in that, fundamentally, relationships are everything, right? Relationships are super important for me. In my work environment, especially the first 25 years, tech, at the end of the day, we're kind of a small niche environment world. And so as we feel our space out, I think it's important that we kind of get to know some of the folks in this space, understand you and your background, what makes you tick, why Web3 and the metaverse is something, and NFT is something that you've been really, involved in. And then, help us kind of then, build a granular, more probably detailed roadmap on, what are some of the areas that we want to potentially play with, and then partner together, knowing that failure is okay. knowing that we may, throw stuff against the wall, it may not stick.
Sure.
But because we have this foundational relationship built, you've gotten to know us, we've gotten to know you, we can kind of, play together.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Tricon is so unique in this regard in that you're a multi-billion-dollar public company traded both in America and in Canada. You're one of the largest renters of homes. So people will look at you and say, oh, they're a real estate company.
Yeah.
And I'm listening to Gary, your CEO, talk about, oh no, we're a tech company. And I remember thinking to myself, well, he just wants a higher valuation. But as I've explored why Gary would say that and why you have a large innovation team, I've come to understand that it'd be virtually impossible to do this business, have tens of thousands of
Scale.
homes,
Can't do it.
100,000 plus humans, that you're taking care of their shelter needs with a long-term relationship in mind, having people stay with you for 5 years on average, things of that nature, that's not really possible with paper and pen, right? This is a tech-enabled business. It's a logistic business. And so when we were talking about, Web3, it all kind of came out of, I co-produced the Metaverse talks at CES. And at first it was like around my company's products, Sonic Streaming, like, oh, if we use this in Tricon's homes, and then it led to, well, what if we gave, like digital real estate to your renters? But then the question is, well, they probably don't want it. They don't know what it is. What if we sell digital real estate? Like, like you were selling cars and bags, and maybe there's something there, but again, is the market there? How does that actually work? And then we've landed on things that feel much more tangible of real problems in the metaverse Web3 industry that Tricon may or may not have potential solutions to, but at least building a relationship with folks. And so something that I've learned from you is that you're coming here not as this massive company and we're a big brand and we have all this power and authority and finance and people. And so, that's not the attitude. The attitude has been, hey, we understand technology's automating things are going to change. We're wondering how this plays in, and maybe we could get to know you, Ian, and your network. And so this is kind of part of that, is to introduce Tricon to the NFT world for the purpose of building relationships, and then also to encourage big brands like Tricon to maybe emulate the way that you are approaching things. So I'll likely end up sharing this video with different folks that I think would be interesting for you to have conversations with. Any final thoughts on the importance of innovation, even though companies are large and established, to not stop innovating? Because that's something that's been consistent here. So I'd love your final thoughts on that.
Yeah, I would say my thoughts around it is that real estate as a technology oriented industry has been lagging for a very, very long time. And it's not easy to scale a company like ours. There's a huge barrier to entry to grow, like you just said. And so we have to constantly look at innovating, constantly look at scaling. And then we also have to think ahead and go, well, ultimately all these homes get commoditized. Any renter can go to this home or a competitor's home down the street, pay the same amount of rent. What's going to be unique about why they want to rent one of our Tricon homes? And to me, it's about the experience. It's about the full enriched living experience. Just because you're a renter doesn't mean you don't take pride in your home. And so can we provide you with a much more unified, innovative living experience in totality? And so I think as we kind of see where ultimately real estate is headed, and this industry is headed, those kinds of experiences, those kinds of unique opportunities, the things that we offer residents are going to really help set us apart. It's not going to really be the home. It's not going to be the rent price. It's not going to be the location, because that's going to exist everywhere, right? It's really going to be how did we innovate and how did we enrich their living environment for them? And I think, looking at opportunities in the Web3 and being just a learner in this space, right? Curious, kind of just continues to build on that innovative mindset, knowing that at the end of the day, what will set us apart from everybody else and what continues to set us apart even today is what we do for the resident and how we make them feel in the home.
Well, it does feel like there's a consistent tone of nobility at Tricon, which is likely why you take that stance. Still business to make money, there's no doubt about that, but it does seem as though there's some noble pursuits around helping humans with their shelter needs in today's crazy environment where things are constantly shaken up in terms of home ownership, renting, the tension between those two things with, the modern world. So everybody there, hope you have a very happy day today. I'll be back again with another one of these very soon. And come join us in London, November 3rd and 4th for NFT London. Have a great day, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.